What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Aaliyahjay, and today is fashion history. So today we're going to be talking about a true icon in history, okay? Someone who truly made history. Before we get into the video, I'm gonna prep myself, protect the lace. I am gonna be doing an eyeshadow look in today's video. I haven't done eyeshadow in so long. Like, it's giving prom when it comes to eyeshadow for me. But you know what? Today I felt a little glamorous. I just put on my press-ons. So I'm like, you know what? How about we just spice it up a little bit, you know? Get a little glamorous or whatever. So we are going to be talking about Zelda Wynn Valdes. I'm really gonna enjoy talking about this topic. I feel like this is just gonna open those doors for me to actually say that Black women are just inventors all across the world for literally everything. As a person of color, I see African American women go viral all the time. Actually, sometimes we don't go viral, but the thing that we're doing is a trend. And I just think it's important for us to recognize, you know, we are truly inventors. We are truly staples in the world. The world needs us. So today we're going to be talking about one out of the million of Black women who have created something that is still with us till this day. And I think this is a great topic to talk about, because every Halloween, every single girl dresses up as this every single Halloween, okay? It's October right now, it's Halloween month, so this is just the perfect topic for us to get into. So on June 28th, 1905, Zelda Wynn Valdes was born. Cancer queen. I'm a Cancer, period, okay? I'm a Cancer. If you're a Cancer, make sure you like this video, or let me know down below if you're a Cancer and when's your birthday. She was born in Pennsylvania, but she grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. And actually, to be quite honest, there's not much history on her on the internet. I guess it was because it was so long ago and she just lived a really private life. So there's not much to like her childhood and like what she went through and how she was brought up. The thing that I do know, as a young girl, she played the piano at a Catholic school. At the very beginning of Valdez's career, before she even thought to become a fashion designer, she worked at her uncle's tailoring shop, and that was in White Plains, New York. So many creatives come out of New York. Like, I think it's actually crazy. I'm gonna be going into everything I'm gonna be using is gonna be listed down below. So with her working at her uncle's tailoring shop, a little bit later she decided to become a stock girl at a high-end boutique. No one really knows the name of the high-end boutique. As I said, it's kind of hard to track her life history because it's not much information on the internet. Of course, it wasn't, you know, the internet wasn't created back then. But I think that this is something great that we can kind of all take from. Wherever you're trying to go, you have to start somewhere. And if that's not inspiring, I don't know what is. This was way before her fashion design career. She was working as a stock girl. While she was working at both the tailoring shop and the high-end boutique, she worked her way up to start selling clothing and making small alterations. This actually made Valdez the first Black clerk and tailorer at the shop, which was a huge accomplishment around this time because it was like 1920s, you know. Black people weren't really able to get a lot of jobs back then. They weren't able to work. They weren't really able to make any type of decisions as far as her making alterations. They really weren't able to do anything, truthfully. Valdez actually said that it wasn't a pleasant time. She said, "It wasn't a pleasant time, but I was trying to see what I could do." I love how she used that as like a stepping stone to get somewhere, especially in a time where, you know, as a person of color, you're basically told that you really won't get anywhere, you know. She took a huge leap of faith doing that. Valdez got so good at her craft in tailoring that in 1935 she actually ended up opening her own tailoring shop. This actually happened in the same area, which was White Plains, New York. So at her dressmaking business, she actually oversaw a few other ladies in alternation, and this is where she started to develop her own clientele. In 1948, Miss Wynn noticed that this has actually become a passion of hers, and she decided to take it all the way and just decided to go for it. So in that same year, 1948, she decided to open up her own walk-in shop, and this was in a designated area in Manhattan, and that area in Manhattan is actually now called Washington Heights. Back in the day, a lot of Black entrepreneurs and a lot of Black people had a lot of businesses over there. So it used to be a really big part of, you know, Black culture and, you know, like Harlem and stuff like that. She decided to name this shop Zelda Wynn, just by her name. And the Zelda Wynn shop was the first Black owned business in Manhattan, and it was by a woman at that, okay? As she continued to build her shop and build her clientele, she started to gain celebrity clientele. So as Zelda Wynn built her clientele, she started to gain celebrity clientele. She sold outfits and made alterations for huge household names like Dorothy Dandridge, Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, Eartha Kitt, and that is just to name a few. And her relationship with Ella Fitzgerald was long distance, and it said that she only measured and fitted Fitzgerald only once within their 12-year relationship. After that one time measuring her, the stuff that she designed for her was just fitted to her just off of imagination. It said that Miss Wynn was able to tell a woman's measurements just by looking at her. Hunty, talent, okay? So because Valdez was like, you know, getting up there, getting popular, getting popping or whatever, she decided to rename the name of her business, which was called Chez Valdez, and she decided to move to Midtown. Her business was growing so crazy and she wanted to solidify her spot in fashion, so she was just like, let me revamp. When she moved to Midtown, she moved to 57th Street, and her sister actually started to help her. She hired her sister, and her sister's name was Mary Barber. She assisted Valdez. She also supervised the woman that worked in the shop. And Valdez had hired a whole staff of 9 dressmakers. She had 9 employees, you guys, probably more than that, of course, and she was charging almost $1,000 per dress. Back in those days, $1,000 was like $1 million, you guys. Like, that wasn't play money, okay? You had to really have money, okay, to afford a Valdez dress. I'm sorry, but Miss Valdez was getting that chicken. I also forgot to mention that in 1948, Miss Wynn became the president of the National Association of Fashion and Accessory Design. It was an organization of Black entrepreneurs and fashion designers, and it was founded by Mary McLeod Bethune. We're gonna get back to the 1950s, okay? So in the 1950s, the singer Joyce Bryant actually hired Miss Valdez. Joyce Bryant was a huge star in the Black community, and she was actually deemed as the Black Marilyn Monroe. Joyce Bryant was known for her sexy image. Her sexy image was actually jump-started by Miss Wynn. The word around town was that Miss Wynn Valdes, was making everyone look poppin'. Her clientele was looking beautiful in the newspaper. They were just like stunning on the red carpet, and you know, everybody just wanted a Miss Wynn dress, a Chez Valdez dress. And this actually caught the attention of businessman Victor Lowe's. And this actually caught the attention of businessman Victor Lowndes. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. So Victor was the vice president of the Playboy brand, and he was business partner with a man named Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner was a businessman who had started Playboy as a publication business, and this started because Hugh Hefner was working for someone else at first, and he was putting in so much work and wanted a $5 raise, and his boss declined him. So he was like, you know what, I quit. The Playboy publication company was very, very different at the time. There was no other publication like Playboy, and actually the Playboy magazines had to be stored under the newsstand because they were so revealing and just so different. Stuff like this wasn't accepted back in those days. The Playboy magazines actually had to be sold in brown paper bags. So if you see a man that just comes from a newsstand and he has a brown paper bag, just know you gotta know what's in there, okay? And like I said, this wasn't the norm around that time. Hugh Hefner once explained that he chose a rabbit as the mascot for Playboy publication because of the humorous sexual connotation. And he decided to dress the bunny in a tuxedo to add the idea of sophistication, which I actually think is quite genius. So in the 1960s, Hugh Hefner was planning to open a nightclub in Chicago, and he wanted to name it the Playboy Club. Each club club would feature a living room, a playmate bar, a dining room, and much more, kind of like a house. And the members of the club will be served food and drinks and whatever else they want by the Playboy bunnies. So for the Playboy bunnies, Hugh Hefner actually initially wanted his waitresses to wear a silk negligee. He wanted that to be the club uniform, but Hugh Hefner was actually talked out of it by Victor. Instead, Victor bought him a better idea. So at the time, Victor was actually dating a woman named Torrance, and Torrance suggested that Victor and Hugh Hefner should actually do a Playboy bunny, because that was already the logo of the Playboy publication. So she was like, you know what, like, you should just do a Playboy bunny costume. Like, you should actually just do a bunny costume. And at first, Hugh Hefner actually declined that idea because he thought it was like too masculine, you know, like a Playboy bunny in a tuxedo. He was just like, no. He wanted it to be more like showgirl. He really wanted it to be showgirl and to create an experience for his clients. But Victor and his girlfriend just kept like persuading Hugh to just do the bunny, just do the bunny. So they decided to contact Zelda, and they decided to do this because one of Zelda's clients, which was Nat King Cole, he attended the Playboy Club religiously. Okay, he was always there. They had the perfect connection to her. They loved Nat King Cole's outfits, and they was just like, you know what, this is perfect. So after Victor and Hugh Hefner got in contact with Zelda, they decided to commission her to make the first Playboy bunny outfit ever, and the rest is history. So you guys, I just finished doing my hair. I love this hair. Oh my god. Like, after Hugh Hefner hired Zelda to create the Playboy bunny costume for his Playboy Club, they decided to open up the first Playboy Club in Chicago on February 29th, 1960. The costume really made an experience for the entire Playboy Club and everyone who visited the Playboy Club. And it was such an experience that it actually became the first commercial uniform to ever be registered by the United States Patent and Trademark Office that wasn't a military outfit. So military attire has a license, and Playboy was the only other outfit besides military clothes that was able to have a license in the United States. Honestly, that is crazy. Like, and this was actually so huge for Valdez. Like, honestly, it feels like it was a huge win. It was so huge because black designers were not noticed as much, and this really put black creators on the forefront. There was also so much segregation happening at the time, which was also happening in the fashion industry, and that caused so many creators to get lost in history. You know, there's so many things that black people have invented that we don't know about. It's not even like as popular, you know, like a lot of people don't know who Zelda Wynn Valdes is, and that's a shame. But Miss Valdez absolutely opened that door for black creators back then to be able to have a platform to speak out and for people to give people a chance. And even though she was behind the scene, she created an iconic look where black women, and not only black women but women in general, were not acknowledged and they didn't have rights to do a lot of things. So in 1970, Valdez started working with Arthur Mitchell in the Dance Theater of Harlem. She worked for this dance company for about 18 years until her retirement, and she sadly passed away at the age of 96 in 2001. Nowhere online says her cause of death. As I said before, it's not a lot of information online about her exact life or how she passed away, but she did. I think it's just so amazing how it's actually like people, even black people, behind all of this stuff that we have today, and a lot of us don't know about it. You know, when I found out that a black woman created the Playboy bunny costume, I was like, hold on, wait, time out, what? Like, I could not believe that. That is so crazy. Literally, it is October right now. We all wear the Playboy bunny costume around this time. So you guys, I'm done with the makeup look. It's very simple today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this fashion history segment. I'm gonna be doing a lot more fashion history videos, so if you want to see a lot more, make sure you subscribe down below right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I love you, army. Mwah. See See you.